moving on, the federal government of Nigeria through the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development is addressing housing crisis with initiatives like the National Housing Program and the Renewed Hope Housing Project, focusing on delivering affordable housing across the country. Meanwhile, federal government has unveiled initiatives aimed at addressing the escalating issues of building collapses in the country. The measures include enhanced compliance protocols, expanded regulatory activities, and the establishment of new technical departments within the Council of the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, talking about COREN, and to ensure the quality and safety of construction projects across the nation. To discuss this and more, we have Dr. Onore Kehinde. Onore is an estate surveyor and valuer, Registration Board of Nigeria. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you.
It's been a while we had you on the program. Good to see you again.
It's a pleasure.
Now let's start this way. Do you own a house? I mean your own house in Abuja. I'm sure you do. Then what will it take a middle income earner in Abuja to own a house? What does it take?
Thank you very much for bringing me back to the program once again.
Yeah.
By the grace of God, I own a house in Abuja. And for a low-income earner to own a house, there are certain perimeter that need to be put in place, which the government of the day has been implementing. One of it is a public-private partnership. Public-private partnership came up at the National Housing Policy of 1991, and it has been built upon, whereby we have private developer coming up with lands, and they will give the opportunity for civil servants, low-income earner, to venture into such policy, thereby ensuring that they were paying instrumentally, either through their salary scheme, for them to own a house. And this has helped a lot. It has made a lot of civil servants that are of low-income earner through public-private partnership to own a house.
Okay, sorry to hold your thoughts. How effective is this PPP arrangement? Yes, we know houses are springing up every day in Abuja and even across the country through the Federal Ministry of Housing, through private developers, through mortgage and all of that. But it all seems like a drop of water in an ocean. What do you think needs to be done to get it much more expanded for more people to benefit so that this housing deficit gap, the gap that we have, will be closed?
Thank you. I think the government need to give what is being called housing subsidies. They have to subsidize the amount at which a low-income earner can be paying to get an affordable housing. And I think looking at the renewed hope of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, he has been doing a lot in improving the low-income earner just for them to access affordable housing using the platform of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, the Ministry of Housing. They have been doing a lot. The Renew Hope agenda, they have been going from one state to the other, establishing a land-breaking laying of foundation of housing via this PPP arrangement in collaboration with Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and some private individual. And this has helped a lot. A lot of people are having houses, a lot of low-income earners are having houses, and ministry agencies and parastatals, they are encouraging their staffs to go into Federal Mortgage Bank, pick the form there, and you will see that no matter the level of your income, you can access the house through the initiative of Mr. President. Thank you.
Okay, I also understand that some of this arrangement is based on owner-occupier, and possibly by the time you pay these contributions over a period of time, you get to own a house. But it seems a long time. For this particular project, it seems it takes a longer period to get to achieve that. Yes, I agree with you. A lot of people are having houses, but a lot more are yet to have their own houses to say, okay, I have a roof I have shelter, my head covered with some affordable as well as standard shelter. Before you get to own a house, there is the issue of rentage. It's something else. The prices keep increasing. Landlords keeps hiking the rent year by year. Are there not regulations to this? From your own point of view, what is needed to be done, despite the fact that new houses come up every day, which is to say, following the law of demand and supply, the more they supply, the cost should be effective, the cost should be reduced. But that's not what we're saying today, particularly in Abuja. What is the challenge and what's the way to go?
Thank you. The challenges in having an affordable houses, they are numerous. They are numerous. One of those challenges is corruption. When we have another form of such challenges is implementation of policies in terms of building approval plan. We have a lot of building collapse taking place, in which are being put in place when a plan. The design, the plan, the implementation of construction work are put in place, and there is no proper monitoring of such plan for the actualization of the project. Through corruption, it has affected a lot of building being put in place, and it leads to collapse of building. And by such doing, most of the people that are supposed to own a house, once there is an issue of corruption put in place, and if that is not nipped at the bud, it will affect low-income earner in accessing affordable houses.
Okay, yes, you're now talking about standards. There are codes. Is it about the implementation now, or is it about enforcement by those who are supposed to enforce to ensure that people who are in this business adhere to the regulations?
Thank you. The codes are there. The implementation is the key. And the enforcement. Yeah, the implementation has taken place. But when we talk of effective enforcement, there are challenges in terms of enforcement, which has to do with the same corruption I've mentioned earlier. When we talk of implementation of such code, professionals in the inbuilt industry, most especially when we talk of Federal Capital Territory, they have their code. The Lagos State has our own code, and there are different units of enforcement that are expected to be put in place. And when these enforcement are not effectively put in place, then it will affect the implementation of such policy.
Okay, shortly before I let you go, the question of why is it that houses, to own a house, more like a one-off purchase, is so expensive, particularly in Abuja. Then at times, in terms of renting an apartment, the rates keeps going up every year. What are the issues?
Thank you. Considering the cost of material, considering the increase in cost of material, as a result of increment in different form of policies and coming up of different government policies that are just springing up.
Okay, aside from the policies you mentioned, a lot of house owners or people who are into property will tell you, yes, cost of production, the cost of the cement, the cost of labor, the cost of material, the steel, iron, all of those components that are needed. How about locally sourced materials? We had our mud buildings before now standing the test of time. Some have existed for more than 100 years. From where I've lived the most of my life, talking about Zaria in Kaduna State, the Zaria city as it is, most of the houses, the traditional houses, are still with mud, and they are standing the test of time, all weather, all year. Can there be a technology to mix these locally sourced materials with the cement to get affordable housing?
Yes. The mud you are talking about, in real building construction, they are obsolete.
Okay.
They are not in.
Is there no technology to blend what we have today and the traditional we have?
Yes.
And even the architecture itself?
there are a lot of technology in building construction that has spring up over time. And this has encouraged building with different types of technology in terms of material that can make construction to stand the test of time. Technology cannot be overemphasized in building construction. And when you are talking of mud houses, it cannot even be had in this 21st century because they are obsolete. They cannot stand the test of time. They cannot stand the environment. They cannot stand the welder. We have what we call this climate change. Climate change, when it comes to building construction, there's an effect on it. So when we talk of mud houses, it cannot stand this test of time because climate change is coming up. We need to work and improve our rate of construction in line with the technology and
that is moving with global trends.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Onore Kehinde, Onore Estate Surveyors and Values Registration Board of Nigeria, for your insight. But I still insist there is a way we can blend the local technology and the state-of-the-art technology to have affordable housing. Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.